There is a shortage of radiologic technologists and respiratory therapists and some other fields in the jobs in the medical field here in Connecticut, so much so that the state has a task force to try to tackle the issue. And local colleges are aware as well. That's where my two guests here come in. From the School of Health Sciences at Quinnipiac University, Dr. Bernadette Mealy and Karen Griffiths. She is the Program Director of Respiratory Care in the College of Education, Nursing, and Health Professions at the University of Hartford. They are two of the members of the task force. Thank you both for being here today. Glad to have you here to sort of shine a light on a problem that you both know about, but I'm guessing a lot of people out there don't know about. Let's start with you, Dr. Mealy. Just talk about how big the shortage is, how severe it is.
Sure. So there is, with our aging population, right, so there's a lot more need for imaging, and imaging helps the physicians to be able to diagnose and to be able to treat our patients. But with the rise of the need for more technologists in the state, we just don't have enough people to care for the people in Connecticut, so to take care of the imaging in Connecticut. And so a lot of that stems from the pandemic, the shortages that occurred prior to the pandemic. So this is not something new. We knew that this was coming with the retirements and the number of needs that have occurred. And there's so many people that are out there that require our services that we just don't have enough technologists to care for them.
Yeah, and like we said, that's just radiologic technologists. Also, in respiratory therapy, just how hurting is that sort of corner of the industry?
And I would say very similar. We have respiratory therapists work in a variety of settings, but we predominantly work in hospitals and not having, especially ICUs and intensive care, and we don't have enough respiratory therapists in the state to fill all the positions. Hospitals are really struggling to find therapists to fill those positions, and it can negatively impact patient care. Yeah,
I can imagine, so especially coming off a pandemic caused by a mainly respiratory virus, certainly not only respiratory virus. All right, what is being done about it? What are both of you sort of trying to accomplish with the task force?
So I co-chair the task force with Matthew Green, who represents the nuclear medicine technologists in the state. And so we are tasked with looking at what can the state do to help support the shortages that are occurring. So we've looked at things such as what incentives can be given to the students that are being trained in the state. How can we keep them here? We've also looked at ways that we can incentivize the people that are in the facilities to train more students.
Right. And how about on the respiratory therapy end?
So very similar issues, but respiratory, one of the big things that we find is a lot of people don't know about the profession. It's a really important profession, but a lot of people, especially high school students, have never heard of it. And I would say it's a really interesting profession, an exciting profession that deals with patients right at the bedside, but also technology. So we need more people aware, and so one of the focuses we're hoping to get out of the task force is to help increase student awareness at the high school level.
Can I bring this down to its most basic level? Because this is what we can at least do, is shine a light on it. Tell people out there watching right now, why would this make such a great career? There's high school seniors who are probably not watching now. Hopefully at 9:20 they're in class, but you get the idea.
So respiratory is a really exciting profession. We deal with anything with the heart and lungs, and we deal with ages from the premature infant all the way up to the elderly, and a variety of different things in different settings. We may help somebody manage their asthma all the way up to working with a ventilator in the intensive care unit. So what I would say is it's a really exciting profession because we're at the bedside and we're working with technology. So if those are things that you want to do and you want to get into the health profession, it's a great thing to look at to consider being a respiratory therapist.
And when it comes to radiologic technologists and working in the field of nuclear medicine, I got to imagine you can make a good career out of that, right?
You can. You can make a good career. You've got your entry-level technologist who's working x-rays in any setting. So it could be inpatient ER, it could be an outpatient setting. And then you can expand on. You can become a CT technologist, MRI technologist, mammographer, bone density, all the different types of interventional procedures, all the way up to our radiologist extender, the radiologist assistant. So there's such a trajectory for our profession.
And for both of you, either one of you could sort of answer this. I know this is not the first time we've had Quinnipiac in here talking about, especially with nursing, trying to get more nurses out there. They've been affected too. So it's great to see. Yeah, we're trying to get this homegrown talent, keep them here. What kind of, how is Quinnipiac sort of leading the way, at least in Connecticut, with these efforts?
So Quinnipiac is leading the way by continuing to take on students from all over the place. So we recruit from everywhere to be able to help build these professions.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything else you'd like to add? We're almost out of time.
Yeah, and I would say with the
much it.
University of Hartford, the same thing. We try to recruit from anywhere, really to try to fill up not just respiratory, but all of the great professions that we have at University of Hartford.
Yeah, we have such a great sort of healthcare industry tradition in the state as a whole, great healthcare as a whole, and now we just got to help them make a comeback post-COVID here. And glad that both of you are just a small part in a much larger effort. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to have you here. And hopefully we've shined a light on this problem for a lot of you out there to find some solutions in the years to come.